Good morning, ma'am. We are the presenter from Bisap 1. First, I want to introduce myself. I am Noel Mariquita,
Benedict Royon,
Jonic Magno.
and Jamar Labay, and Gilbert Gallo.
Our research is entitled about agricultural and awareness and practices to prevent the deforestation in Minskat main campus, school year 2019 to 2020.
Our introduction is: deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make room for something besides forest. Deforestation occurs for a number of reasons, including farming most cattle due to its quick turnaround. One of the most dangerous and upsetting effects of deforestation is the loss of animal plant species due to their loss of habitats. Not only do we lose those known as, but also those unknown, potentially an even greater loss. Minskat main campus in Victoria Oriental, Mindoro is one of the places that is prone to deforestation because of its green environment, which is surrounded by a big large area of forest. Regarding this, the researchers conducted a survey which enabled everyone to know the behavior and awareness in deforestation of every respondent inside the school, reflecting on how agricultural courses are effective in solving the problem. Furthermore, this study was conceptualized to determine the knowledge in agriculture of students of BS Agroforestry.
Next one is a statement of the problem. This study, therefore, is geared toward finding the solution to some of the problem of deforestation. This study is then to find out the following problems. Number one, do deforestation leads to flooding? Number two, what are the causes of deforestation in Alcate Oriental, Mindoro? Number three, does deforestation have any social consequence on the people? Number four, how agricultural courses in Minskat influence the performance of the student regarding the deforestation? Number five, what are the measurements being made to control deforestation? And next one is hypothesis of the study. The study proceed to examine the following hypotheses. Number one, better farming practices will help to lessen deforestation, therefore more and more agriculturists are turning toward it. Number two, with the growing awareness about the effect of deforestation, people desire to apply the better agricultural performance in holding out the forest resources. Number three, better agricultural performance create a better future and opportunities on people. Next one is the time and place of the study. The study will be held conducted in Minskat main campus, Alcate, Victoria Oriental, Mindoro, on January 2020. Next one is the significance of the study. The study's importance is in that it will enlighten leaders and the public of our obligation of the forest, to find out the importance of forests to guide against erosion. It will also guide the government and forestry officials on how to protect our forest. The studies emerge the importance of the people in Alcate, Oriental Mindoro, in the sense of the clearly preserve the forest and also how to plant trees to check erosion. Next is, the study also have beneficially to students in Minskat, in which they will gain more knowledge regarding on how to protect, conserve the forest, and also to the future researcher, and this will serve as a guide in conducting research similar to this study. Next one is scope and limitation. This study focus only on determining the effects of deforestation on how the students' performance regarding this lesson. Respondents include the students of agroforestry in Minskat main campus. Next is definition of terms: deforestation, construction, and desertification. Next one is the conceptual framework. example framework of independent variable and dependent variable. Under our independent variable is the students' profiles in terms of sex, GRE level, and level of awareness of some students, better agricultural practices. And number 3 is significance of relationship of the agricultural awareness and agricultural performance of agroforestry student. Then the independent variable is the barriers that affect to the level of awareness in agricultural practices and recent deforestation. Now, as you can see, they have arrow. So a single headed arrow is representing the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. And that's all.
These are the objectives of the study. The study focused on the awareness in deforestation and the agricultural knowledge and performance of agroforestry students in MISCAT main campus. Especially, it aims present the profile of respondent in terms of sex, year level, and agricultural performance regarding deforestation. Determine the level of performance of agroforestry students in better agricultural practices and education and awareness. Determine the barriers that affects the level of awareness in agricultural practices that lessen deforestation. Test the significant relationship of agricultural awareness and the agricultural performance of agroforestry students. Last is the proposed an action plan based on the result of the study. Review of related literature. Deforestation is not a new phenomenon and it has been continuous since centuries, but its repercussions were not known in the medieval or later periods. The repercussions have shown a great diversity of threats not only to mankind but also to the earth, and the scientists and the other organizations have been keenly working on its limitation. There are some parts of the earth which are richer in forests than the rest of the world, and Amazon is one of them. In Amazon, deforestation is taking place at extensive level, and there are no precautions being taken in this regard. Many researchers has shown the abyssal magnitude of the issue. Gabriela Pereira first and Marcos Hel Costa, one of the researchers, based on them, have that deforestation in Amazon can alter the climate of the region, and they are not of the view that the deforestation can result into the bioclimate envelope such as savannas. Using the research conducted by Gabriela Pereira first and Marcos Hel Costa can be of very much help in the research regards, as they have researched the precipitation effects and the sub-regional effects of deforestation separately. Similar carbon emission at extensive level and forest conversion and wood harvesting are not in equilibrium in the Amazon, and the research conducted by Mason, Cohen, Leakey, and Wilder has shown the rates of extraction of the carbon dioxide from the factories and other organizations, and also the rate of deforestation. They have also given the intent about the afforestation and reforestation, which can change in the climate structure. They have discussed elaborately the climate change occurring in the Amazon due to excessive carbon dioxide emissions, and this research can be helpful while researching for the deforestation in Amazon. These are the related literatures.
Material method. The research design, study of the use described method of research. Described research method refers to the method used to describe data and characteristics used to describe the population. The purpose using the scripted research method is to acquire accurate, punctual, systematic data arranged by the research obtained the necessary information for better understanding the given topic. Participant. The participants of study were the students of main campus. A total of the 40 students participate in the study. The 20 respondents were chosen from BS Agroforestry freshmen and other 20 from the BS Agroforestry, the senior, which the taken random and equally from each section. The respondents were using simple started from random sampling.
Instrument. The researchers use reference the data about the agricultural performance in controlling the deforestation of the agroforestry students available at the internet. Researchers at the faculty as self-made questions was used in data gathering. The questionnaire comprised of the parts computing on the level performance of a student in a better agricultural practice, awareness and education, and the barriers. The effects, the level of the performance of the student in the better agricultural practice. Procedures. Upon the approval of the title and the research problem, the research immediately search in the literature to examine and understand the subject being studied upon acquiring sufficient information. The researchers organization the data gathering in field for checking and ensure a validity of the information. This was used as a guide in the formulating of the question. The researchers immediately of the factoring essential for the study. The questionnaire was submitted to the researcher teacher for comments and suggestion after the researchers tabulated the result. This data were then interpreted and analyzed and were used in the basis in making conclusion of research recommended.
And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day.